Yes. Yes, 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 yes. You may wonder what this great secret is. I've been watching a couple streams. Well, I watched one stream last night. And I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's pretty good. Yep. And I have been watching some other videos to try to glean a little bit of information about this game and see if I can play it such that I don't feel totally beaten by this game. Because that's what I felt like. I just felt like I couldn't do anything with it. And I have played it before. I've got quite a few hours in it, but I don't really remember that much. And my means of thinking, for some reason, don't ask me why, I had ideas pop into my head about how I could play the game. Now, this aspect of what I'm talking about, I'm not going to reveal because you'll just have to watch it and figure it out. In a way, I suppose it's kind of cheating. However, I could say, okay, I'm a leader of this group, and I'm playing a simulation. Theoretically, it's sort of like a real type of life thing. But since I'm playing this simulation, I have the power and the knowledge to be able to simulate the simulation. In other words, I can get what I want, maybe. So that's what I'm going to try and find out, if I can actually get what I want. Because if I can't, I'm not saying that it's like a dead end. But there's a couple of things. Like the first time I played this game, I was thinking, okay, I want to get all the science, and I want to run a certain line of research so that I can combine all the countries and get all kinds of power and everything else. And then I'm looking at this group that I'm playing, this faction, and I guess their home country is in China. And I'm thinking, well, we've got all of this. Well, actually, before I even go there, let me just go to the website here. Let's see. Factions. I know some people have played the different factions and stuff like that and played the game again, yada yada yada. So like the resistance is somewhat hostile to the aliens. The savants are very supportive. The initiative is neutral. The Project Exodus is hostile. The Academy is somewhat supportive, and Humanity First is very hostile, and the Protectorate is supportive. So my thinking is maybe I can play a group to look for a certain ends to the means and change the relationship to the aliens. So I want to exploit them, but I don't want to annihilate them. So if I look at the factions in this list you can't see it because I'm not putting it up there. There's a final mission for each of the factions. So it says herald our masters. So for example, the savants, the savants are very supportive. Aliens control regions at least 65% of Earth. Maybe I don't really want that. So I don't want to use that group. Or maybe I want to use that group if it's got a certain means to the end. And attack them enough to whittle them down. But that could be counterintuitive because maybe there are certain missions that come up. For example, the other faction called Humanity First, their main place is the United States. They're very hostile against the aliens. So it wouldn't make sense to have, well, see, the Academy, which is, let's see here, the Academy, which is somewhat supportive. Their main country, their home country is China, and China has a big army. I sort of noticed. I didn't really take a really good look at it, but they got an army. So why would you have a country that has a big army if maybe you'd want to be supportive of the aliens, but then you're going to start attacking them and lose that support until you become neutral with them, which was kind of my thinking. Like, I could do certain attacks, and then it would bring down the hostility, and then all of a sudden stop, go back and forth type of thing. But anyway, the final mission. The Resistance, they don't want the aliens on Earth whatsoever. They're already somewhat hostile. And I know there's people that's played them. But they probably eradicated them. And they want to close the gate. That's the final mission. The initiative faction controls regions 50% of the Earth. Faction controls 65% of all control points. And that makes an assumption that aliens could control 35% of control points if they even do that, and 50% of the Earth's population. The initiative is already neutral with them, so it would be kind of difficult. So maybe join a group that's somewhat supportive, and then you can whittle them down a little when the time comes. I wouldn't want to be hostile unless if I was somewhat hostile, I'd have to try to appease them. But I don't think there's that means to that end. Humanity is very hostile. Their end game is trigger the weapon. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. This group here is Interstellar Launch Facility Module. Launch the Bifrost. Now, I don't know exactly what that is. Bifrost Command Staff. Let's actually look that up and see what that is here. Bifrost. Terra. Invicta. Is that working? Yeah. Attack prerequisite you won't be told about in Project Exodus. Game developed by yada yada, but didn't know since Project Bifrost was all but ready, requiring just the launch platform to be built. Meaning they're escaping the Earth and whatever. You got 4,000 people to choose to, after having created a freaking utopic society of equality. I had to restrain myself from picking the research options associated with durable development because I figured my faction shouldn't care about that, even though, etc. Trying to get out in 2035 might have been too easy of a game win, so it makes sense that a lot more tech is required to cash in the win. How lovely. playing for RP and having no min-max, trying to be the insular and selfish research faction, just means that you'll miss out on global power games of acquiring and sustainability, developing enough resources to complete the objective, etc. I don't know what the hell the Bifrost thing is. Bifrost is all on YouTube. I don't want to go on YouTube. Bricked campaign progression. I got the Bifrost organization. That's interesting. Am I missing a trigger, etc., yada yada? Just earlier today that Exodus AI doesn't end the game and is a good ally if you play because of that. Not sure if this happens to when human controlled. There's no win scenario too. You need to unlock Titan ships. Bifrost. That's where they leave. Okay, so there's trigger the weapon, there's tame the enemy, there's close the gate, there's forge an alliance. So if you forge an alliance, the game is over. If you claim hegemony, there's a certain faction controls 50% of Earth's region, 10 sentinel complexes, yada yada yada. Combined fleet power of the aliens and prevailing factions must be at least 75% of the total fleet. So the aliens could take over, and we could limit the Earth and stuff like that. That's the protectorate, and the game would go to a win. And I was thinking, well, so if I forged an alliance, faction controls 75% of the Earth, faction controls 75% of all control points. So I think Academy is still good, because if it's 50-50 and then you got to get 25%, which I would assume you'd be able to do that, but you wouldn't really need to have to, you know. Mission to the Hydra. There's organization, and then there's a mission. So let's see. Project Exodus needs to build a station to escape with 4,000 people. So you just don't do that, and you keep playing the game. The Academy, convince aliens that we're equal. The Academy has this, has a forge an alliance type thing. So if you forge an alliance, then it's game over. I like the Academy. So when you go through the list of, again, I did this last night, but when you go through the list of available missions and such, there's certain missions I want. I want salvage alien technology, research alien. I want everything to do with exploiting the aliens. And Academy has a lot of that. Project Exodus has directed space, global research, yada, deep space telescope when it comes available, yada. I don't really care about that. Then there's research alien ops, alien movements, etc., etc., etc. Contact the aliens. The Academy has that mission, whereas the other one, Initiative, does not have it. We can also research the biology, and we can There's exotic quantum computing, an exotic hybrid system, whatever that. We can't do that. No big deal. Learn the language. We have that. We've got research. We've got conduct diplomacy with the aliens. We've got research. Learn the demands. We do not have prepare the alien nation when it comes available. I don't know. That's prepare the alien nation to say, okay, they're the masters or something. The one true path again, they're the masters, yada yada. Develop coexistence pact, that's protectorate. That's an earlier mission. Communicate with the Hydra, build the Sentinels. I don't know what Sentinels is. That's something that only the protectorate can do. We can interrogate things, we can learn weaknesses, determine purposes. The new home, we don't do that research. There's some biowarfare. There's Ferrocite mastery. We don't do that. Plot the journey. We don't kill the hive. We don't construct the Bifrost. What we do is research a permanent peace. Prepare for the final assault. Prepare to enslave. So I really like the Academy. And then it's a matter of that the Academy is somewhat supportive. So, anyway, I don't even know why the hell I went there to look for that. That's all my reasoning for wanting to play the Academy. So that's that story. All right, now I started a game last night, and I sort of liked it, but I didn't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep starting these games until I have what I want. Evidently, the Academy's home is always China. We figured that out. We want to choose our counselor. Normal game. Everything's the same. And that's it. So if China already has this really heavy influence, why not take them? You know? Alright, so we're gonna watch this movie. And one other secret, you gotta start the research as soon as possible, I guess.
We remember the day the stars answered, the day we learned we were not alone. As a familiar sun rose on an unfamiliar universe, some of us saw wondrous possibility, and others existential danger. The astronomers had insisted that the bright streak in the sky was no natural phenomenon. Most of us didn't really believe them until it burned through our atmosphere and crashed in a remote region, leaving only wreckage and uncertainty. In our ignorance, we fractured, taking refuge in our most primal emotions. Each of us saw what we wanted to see. Fear is understandable, a natural reaction to the unknown. It is only by joining together that we can rise above our base impulses. Our strength lies in our collective knowledge and our rich history of innovation. It is that bond that gives us courage, for if we cannot rise above our fear, we have learned nothing, and we are lost.
Alright, so the game starts paused. We're gonna just go ahead and go through this.
Hello, Chancellor. The Council has appointed you leader of our organization.
Okay.
I am Li Qingzao, your provost. We are living in a time of chaos, ridden with both danger and opportunity. The alien arrival carries the potential for great good and great evil, and as yet, we have no way of knowing which it shall be.
Alright, I will not presume to give you any suggestion how these are accounts given. Okay. Investigate, okay. No, this is this go there? Okay, so alright, so in this case it's in Africa. Each time you start a new game, number one, the UFO crashes in a different place. This is all of China, and if we look at each section, you will see... What? Oh, this is different. Oh my gosh, this is different. The last game that I was playing, all of this gray in here, this is undecided. This was all green. Our home country's changed. I think. Where is it? Oh, you know where I can find out? I can find out in nations. If I can find it. So I go to influence. How do I do that here? Wait, where? Okay, so we're here. This is 75%. What? The European Union? These countries? Wait, it can't be. There's Germany. That's European Union. Was one of these Finland? What is that? That's Finland. There's Finland. That's European. That one's not. That's Russia. Oh. So the European Union has most of our stuff here. Where's Bulgaria and shit? And these are undecided. So that means that's Bulgaria. For some reason I like Bulgaria and Kazakhstan and those weird ass countries. Undecided. But what, so my other game, China was all green. I don't know where our home country is. Not a clue. I don't know how to find it either. And I'm gonna have to take a break. So before I do that, let's just go to the counselors. Oh, there's a lot of them here. Shit. So we've got to find the ones with a certain mission. Well, I want public campaign with no control nation. That's persuasion. Why does that say counselor up there? Persuasion command. Public campaign. This one is a 10. Oh, they're all like that, ain't they? And wouldn't you know it, I'm gonna have to take a break. before I continue, and I will be right back.